Nick Gurney, Director of Telecommunications at BAI Communications Australia, sat down with Brendan O'Reilly, BAI's Group Chief Technology Officer, during his recent visit to Sydney. Here, Nick and Brendan discuss BAI's recent acquisitions, the opportunities for shared communications infrastructure in Australia, and how locally we can benefit from a neutral host model.
Hey Brendan, great to have you here in Sydney. It's been a terrific visit so far.
Great to be here.
Yeah, super. In Australia, as you know, we've been traditionally broadcast providing services to ABC, SBS, regional TV and radio throughout the country. Big player in critical communications with the New South Wales Public Safety Network, and passive tower sharing with our co-location with the MNOs here. Globally, we're doing extraordinary things, and what we're doing in Australia is we are building our business on the successes overseas in public wireless, providing solutions to venues and buildings and stadia. We're also driving into private wireless and making some really good progress there. Smart precincts, smart cities is another target area. This is fairly new to us here in Australia. We've got a lot of investment and a lot of growth and building a terrific team. But really want to know what we're doing overseas. We've made a lot of different acquisitions. Mm-hmm. We're building a lot of capability. And I'd like to understand how you see those acquisitions growing. Where do you see the technologies and, again, the opportunities back for us here?
Sure.
Big question.
Yeah, big question. Maybe a bigger answer. I don't know. You can judge. I think when it comes to the BAI that we are today, a lot of it comes down to the fact that the acquisitions that we've made in the last 18 months have really changed the shape and face of the business. Up until then, as you said, known in Australia for being a trusted partner to our customers. Overseas, it was mainly around transit authorities, providing DAS systems that MNOs could join to be able to provide service in hard-to-reach areas like whether that be New York, Toronto, and more recently London. What the acquisitions have done is change our focus. So if I look at the US first, we've acquired Mobility, who massively deliver neutral host systems for stadia, shopping centres, hotels, small cells. They've also got a tower portfolio.
They're like the leader in the industry in the US, aren't they?
At the time we bought them, they were the biggest privately owned infrastructure company in the US. And they are a really agile, flexible business that concentrate on customer outcomes. And that's why they've been so successful. Shortly after that, they acquired a company called Signal Point, and Signal Point do private networks for military bases. Mm-hmm. And then we've recently announced an agreement to purchase a company called ZenFi, who do small cell Wi-Fi in the city of New York. Then if we look at Europe, we were successful with TfL, we're successful with Sunderland.
Transport for London.
Transport for London, who are the London Underground there. City of Sunderland to provide a smart city solution. And we also agreed to start a business in Italy. Right. And that business in Italy is really in its infancy, and that's looking at a lot of the learnings from the US. How can we do the same in Italy? But we did purchase a company called Villicom. Mm-hmm. Villicom are really driving private networks, and private networks in hard-to-reach places. Yeah. I think they've recently built a network at Moray Windfield in Scotland, and that's helping really efficiently manage that wind farm for the owners. So if you put all of that together, the three areas where I see real opportunity are DAS systems, whether they be transport systems, big ones like Transport for London or New York or San Francisco, the one that we're building in San Francisco. BART, it can be office blocks, stadia. I see neutral host DAS as a real opportunity for us globally, and something where we've got a legacy of trust built up.
Right.
Smart cities would be the second area. And by smart cities, not just small cells in cities or infrastructure for MNOs, but applications that help drive outcomes for consumers and citizens. And then lastly, private networks.
Right.
On the back of the pandemic, companies after the last sort of decade are looking to take more control of not just their communications, but how that communication can help drive their business more efficiently. So globally, those are the three areas, the three sort of product lines, if you like, where I see real opportunity.
Right. And why BAI? Why is it that we're being successful, A, in these acquisitions, but then in bringing them together and deploying, I guess a greater value proposition? What are we bringing to it in terms of industry expertise, technology expertise, commercial flexibility? What is BAI's value proposition to the world?
You might have answered your own question, Nick. So I'll probably, on those three themes, repeat it a little. I mean, we have a trusted group of technology and engineering leaders. You know that from the team here in Australia. A number of them worked on the New York Metro project and, have come back. So we have a really great engineering and deployment department in all of our markets. And we do what we say we'll do. And I think that's a really big part of it. Our customers trust us to deliver. I think secondly then, we do have commercial flexibility. And that's because we've got great owners. Our shareholders allow us to be flexible and allow us to do big deals that take time. Where other companies maybe they're on a shorter horizon span and maybe can't live up to some of the some of the framework agreements that we're really interested in. And then lastly, I'd say, end to end, we have a reputation that says we will deliver on the back of what we promise.
Right.
And that, you've seen it here, that all the customers that you have here in Australia, if anything were to go wrong with any of those services, you could be headline news, right? And it's really important in that environment to have the trust of your customers to deliver.
No, exactly. I mean, in Australia, the service we provide to the broadcast industry is really always on. I mean, TV is always working, which is magnificent. But I think one of the other things that I see when I look out into what we're doing in the rest of the world is that we talk about neutral hosts, but the fact is we are independent. We're an independent third party with the ability to take on enormous complexity and deliver against that complexity, where we bring those things together, the industry point of view, the technology point of view, the program point of view, the ecosystem of partners, which includes the MNOs and the customers themselves, and as you say, put the commercial packaging around it in a flexible way that enables the industry to, the customers, the end users, etc., to extract the value.
That idea of neutrality is really important, and it's called neutral host for a reason. We don't mind who we work with as long as we can build that trusting relationship with them. We don't mind which vendors we use as long as they're the right vendors for the project, and we're not tied to any one vendor or partner, which means that we can look at each project in a distinct way and say, right, we're going to use this supplier here and this partner here and bring that together. And there aren't many truly neutral companies, but the thing I love about working at BAI is we are absolutely neutral when it comes to our vendor choices, because we don't focus on the technology, we focus on the outcome, and it's the outcome for all, driving real value for all parties.
Right. And I sense that the reason that we keep growing and being successful is because we keep delivering on those outcomes.
Absolutely. A big part of being able to continue to acquire companies is those companies live up to the hype, and so far we've been really impressed with everybody who's joined the BAI family, but we're also delivering on the projects that we win. Our organic projects that we're growing on, TfL's delivering well, Sunderland, BART that I mentioned in San Francisco is
What is BART?
BART is the railway service, the rail service for the city of San Francisco, and we're building data centres, fibre, DAS.
Right.
It's huge, a huge project in its own right. But again, we've got the trust from the customer to deliver on what we said we'd do.
And I sense that through all of these acquisitions, where each company is bringing a slightly different part of the jigsaw puzzle. Vilacom, as you say, is a very, very strong systems integrator or network integrator on the forefront of software technologies. We marry that with what we've been doing in mobility, for example, with DAS systems. We're bringing all of these together to be able to create these hybrid solutions and outcomes. Are there some good examples where we're doing bringing in DAS systems, private wireless, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, all of the big transit programs are doing exactly that. It's melding, whether that be in London, Wi-Fi, DAS, fibre, above ground. The same in BAR in San Francisco. But one that we don't talk a lot about is we actually provide connected transit on-board connectivity in Toronto and in the US. And what's really unique about that is we're one of the only players who, again, are neutral. So a lot of players in that space have their own technology that they bring, their own hardware, their own software, and that's what they sell. We sell an outcome, and if vendor A isn't living up to the hype, then we can swap them out. And again, I think the fact that we've moved that way and made that neutral sets us apart in that market.
Look, I think that, again, there's a tremendous opportunity for that here in Australia. And one of the areas I see is in risk transfer, because, with networks now becoming increasingly soft, increasingly complex, and having to manage multiple different networks, it's very, very difficult for the actual customer to build the skills and to do that. And we take on that risk and we deliver the outcome.
Yeah, a great example of that is Crypto.com in LA, where there were a number of different systems in there, live systems, that the operators had, and it needed an upgrade. And the mobility team, built this amazing setup where they were building one system while removing another, and it was like a jigsaw piece where they had to make room for the new DAS while removing the old one. And that's very risky because that wasn't shutting down. The concerts were going on, there were basketball matches going on, they've got ice hockey there, it's used nearly every night of the year. But they were able to manage that risk on behalf of not just the vendors but the MNOs as well, and deliver a fantastic new system there.
Yeah. I visited Crypto in LA, and I didn't know that the ice was there permanently, and they can play ice hockey in the afternoon, and then bang, the floor comes out, and they play basketball in the evening. But the fact that it's all managed not as a stadium, but you've got the stadium, you've got LA Live, and you've got this seamless communication between this massive outdoor entertainment precinct plus indoors for 260 days of the year. It's phenomenal.
It really is phenomenal. And as you said, you've sometimes got 3 events going on in a day, and yet the guys still were able to get in and deliver an amazing system, an amazing upgrade, sort of against all odds, really. And really flabbergasted sometimes. I don't know if flabbergasted will work in
I think we can be flabbergasted.
I was flabbergasted at the ability to deliver that amazing system.
Yeah, and in fact, building for the future. And the guys were telling us that, with AR and VR technologies, you can put yourself in the middle of the court and have LeBron James run through you. I'm not quite sure I'm ready for that.
No, I don't know. I'm getting older. I don't think I could take the hit, even virtually.
Anyway, all right. Well, look, thank you. That's tremendously informative, and we're really looking forward to maximising the reuse and leverage of our global experience and really growing our business here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.